you had a victory. You're an unashamed Remainer. You don't want Brexit to happen.
And Piers, you really need to get that right, because the day after the referendum, I actually said we're all leavers now, and that I hope that the MPs are going to do a good job of getting us the best possible deal. They have not been doing that, and that's what I've been campaigning against.
Would you like Brexit to happen, then?
I think that Brexit needs to be happen. If it's going to happen, it's got to be a better deal than we've got at the moment.
Right. I mean, instinctively, OK, I don't want to miscategorise you, but you're a Remainer at heart. You don't think we should be doing this?
I don't see any prospect of us getting a better deal than we have, and if we did, then I think we should leave.
Yesterday was a tumultuous moment, wasn't it, for the country? This is a moment where the Supreme Court, the highest court of the land, effectively said that the Prime Minister had broken the law. He'd been unlawful, and he communicated this to the Queen and dragged her into all this, and he may have taken advice from the Attorney General and so on. But we're in this farcical situation now where the prorogation of Parliament that's gone on for several weeks is now deemed to have not happened, and Parliament will re-meet. Gina, how does this all play out? How does this end?
Well, just to explain, apparently you're quite into football, but what he did was try to take the other team off the pitch. And now 11 independent referees, if you like, the most senior ones, have said, well, no, you didn't play by the rules. So, yes, what he has done in closing down Parliament was unlawful. What it now means is the Parliament, the MPs will return today and carry on the work of scrutinising and the roles that we elect them to do, which is to ask questions, to hold select committees, and to find out what's been going on in negotiations in the EU, to actually do the job we pay them for.
Yeah, but my fundamental problem with that, and I've always had a lot of respect for you, you just want to abide by the law, I get that, and I have respect for that. Parliament, though, it seems to me, is full with three-quarters Remainers. And I'm a Remainer, so that's fine. They don't want to pass anything to do with Brexit. But it seems to me that's the problem, is that Parliament actually collectively does not represent the way that vote went in the referendum, and they do not have an incentive to try and get a Brexit deal. If you ask most of them, they would say they don't want Brexit to happen. And that seems to me to be the fundamental problem. So it's all very well saying, let Parliament do their job. But if Parliament is actually defying the will of the people in that referendum vote, that is not doing their job.
The parliamentarians are elected to scrutinise everything and to ensure that whatever is happening, whatever the government executive are doing, is in the best interest of the people who elected them. And that has got to be the job that they do. We cannot, I cannot, you cannot tell them what to do. They have to do that. We are not seeing all the papers. We elect them so that we can carry on with our day-to-day lives. And they can get on with scrutinising, with reading everything, with voting, with seeing what's best for all of us. That's why we have a representative democracy. We don't have a direct democracy.
The trouble is, Gina Miller, the trouble is, you say that we don't have a direct democracy.
No, we don't.
David Cameron gave the people the vote on Brexit,
yes,
which was a piece of direct democracy. No, but it was a piece of direct democracy, wasn't it? Because it was a referendum, and the Brexiteers won the referendum.
And the MPs have been trying to do that. They have passed. They voted to trigger Article 50. They passed the EU bill to leave. They passed the Withdrawal Act in 2018. They've actually voted time and time again to get this through. The problem is, and I agree with what Piers said, is that there is no coming together behind any particular outcome. And they have got to do that, because everybody in this country is fed up. We're frustrated.
Perhaps because within our parliamentary democracy, there's a sort of irony, isn't it? That if you have a referendum with such a bold question at the heart of it, but you have a parliament which is divided on political parties, there's no incentive to work together. So how can this
actually, it's more
sort
of a problem of the fact that we have a minority government
deliver a result through the parliament which doesn't have an incentive to do it?
It is more of a problem that we have a minority government, and we now have a government who have a minus 41 majority. So that is actually more of a problem, because if there was a majority government, they would be able to pass through their policies. So it's actually not quite as straightforward.
Well, with respect, when we had the Tories working with the DUP, they still couldn't get it through. It's not just a problem with the minority government, is it?
Well, the DUP now have a problem with the deal and the backstop, so it's not quite that simple. The arithmetic in Parliament is not simple in any favour.
Exactly. So how does Brexit get passed?
Brexit has to, well, the next few weeks are absolutely critical. It could be that Prime Minister Johnson comes back with a withdrawal agreement that does get through Parliament.
Final question. Gina, should he be Prime Minister, having been found to have been unlawful? Should he resign?
Well, I believe that he has broken the law, or the courts have ruled that, and I think there must be consequences, but not just for Prime Minister Johnson. I think senior members of the government who are also involved in this need to consider their position.